Live from Cowley College, welcome to the Tiger's Den.
Welcome back to Tiger's Den. I'm your host, Jared Oberlechner. I'm here with Campbell and Joe Blake, and we got Andrew Burgos right here in isolation.
Yeah, Zoomland, let's go!
First off, I'd like to congratulate the men's and women's cross-country team for winning conference and regional titles.
And I got to actually talk with Coach Reith and a couple of the runners, and we got a pretty good story.
We're the only sport in season right now. So the expectations are a little bit higher to be on top of your game.
Like, our main focus right now is just nationals and trying to focus on that.
We are focusing for the nationals. What's next for us.
We knew that this was like a winning school, like a winning program. They're known for having winning streaks, so we kind of just learned to build onto that and not having any distractions. And then obviously after nationals we get a couple weeks off, and then we just start preparing for indoor season. And I think that's just like our sport is just, we're always doing something. We're constantly always in season.
We're ranked number one now. There's a difference. We got a little bit of a target on our back. We want to prove it. Like, I'm not saying that another team may, I'm fully expecting somebody else is going to rise to the occasion too. And we just need to be better on that day. And I'm excited to see what happens.
We want to thank Coach Reith for taking the time to talk with us. We can't wait to see what cross country does at nationals.
I got a chance to speak with Coaches Vaz and DeSantos about wrapping up the fall soccer season.
We just want to feel a sense of normalcy. That's what I'm looking forward to, because we cannot make any plans if we don't know what's going to happen, you know.
I really hope things will adjust smoothly. Yes, we are in a whole different world right now, I would say, because affecting everyone. And I really hope we get things in a right way, and because that's affecting us. To be honest with you, how is it going to be? I don't know, and nobody does. I pray every day that we'll turn things around and get back on track.
Practices, they have been different. I'm not gonna lie. When we have season, we have 2-3 games a week. We have to go not so hard on the guys and on the strength and conditioning, because we have to just ease them back into the game. Several players, they hadn't played for 12 months, for a year, and I think we've been introducing our culture, the way we play, but we've been doing that in a very easy manner so that they understand.
Thank you, coaches, for speaking with us, and we hope that you all can keep the momentum going into the spring season.
Speaking of spring season, the Lady Tigers softball team just finished their fall ball and are moving in to get ready for the spring season. I got a chance to sit down with Sid the Kid and Coach Hoyt to see how their season went.
Hitting wise, we looked really good. Yesterday we had a really good hitting practice, so, just today was really good. I thought, we swung the bat really well and we were hitting the ball solid.
I think we're doing really good this fall. We're looking really good. I'm really excited for the spring. I think big things are coming.
In order to be successful throughout a season, your team has to gel, and I think that's a huge thing that we, going into a season, if you don't get along outside the field, that's okay, but on the field you better, gel as a team. And I think that they've shown that every single day at practice, every single day in the game. It's a team of craziness where we could be fast or we can swing it for power. So
Week 8 just wrapped up in the NFL, and man, we sure saw a lot. We saw the Vikings upset the Packers, saw the Steelers defense hold off Lamar Jackson on the final drive, and the Chiefs dismantle the Jets. Guys, what do we think of Week 8?
Honestly, I'm tired of seeing the NFC least play football. Like, this is the worst football I've ever seen any football team play. This is the worst division. I'm just tired of watching the Cowboys, Washington, Dallas, and New York honestly playing. Honestly, watching the Dallas Cowboys and watching the Eagles was the most frustrating game of all time. You have Carson Wentz out here making bonehead plays, fumbling the ball twice, throwing interceptions to the same player. Like, it's just terrible.
But he's leading the division.
He's leading the division.
The NFC East.
Eagles are 3-4, leading the division. We have Washington football team 2-5 in second place. Dallas Cowboys 2-6 in third, and we have the Giants 1-7, and somehow they could still win the division. It's crazy. It's crazy division that's going on over there.
Yeah, welcome to NFC least football, folks. That is definitely what happens. It's kind of an on-off year. It just depends on what's going on. It sucks to watch those games, but at the same time, they're so interesting because anyone can take that division no matter what. So I know it's tough to watch those games, but at the same time, whoever wins that division gets to host a playoff football game. So like it's fun to watch. It's really fun to see crappy teams play each other to win a crappy division.
Okay, I mean, let's flip it around. You know, you got the NFC East. Now we have the NFC West with the Rams, Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Cardinals.
Yes.
They're looking like the best division as of right now.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, it's a division with, before Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, 4 quality quarterbacks. And, I mean, Kyler Murray's still trying to prove himself a little bit. Jared Goff maybe a little bit too. But, you know, with Jimmy Garoppolo and Russell Wilson, it's a division of quarterbacks. And when you get 4 quality quarterbacks, you're bound to be the best division in the NFL. I don't know if there's another division that can say that they have 4 quality quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm going to say this right now. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a quality quarterback right now. Nick Mullins is playing better than him.
Wow.
I mean, you can blame him on injuries, but when he's healthy, he got benched. He got benched when he was healthy.
It's hard to say that when he's a quarterback who led a team to the Super Bowl. I mean, yes, they relied on the run game a lot, but you take a team to the Super Bowl, I mean, that's not an easy task. It doesn't matter, you know, who you're going against or, you know, how good your running back is. To quarterback a team to the Super Bowl, that's not an easy task.
Andrew, what do you think about this?
You know, I think that Jimmy Garoppolo and that NFC division is amazing. The NFC West is the best. But with Jimmy Garoppolo not only getting hurt and also George Kittle getting out for the 8 weeks, they say around then. So the 49ers are going to have some really big challenges, not only on the offensive side, but the defensive side. And the defense is going to have to carry more because they're losing the offensive weapons. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. All the rest of those people in the division, we could see possibly 3 teams make it from that division, taking those wildcat card spots.
Seahawks are definitely coming out the division on top. That's no-brainer. Cardinals did upset them. I'll give the Cardinals that. But it's no-brainer. I don't think Kyler Murray is ready for – I don't think he's ready for prime time yet. I think Seahawks going to take the division. Rams just suffer a big loss to the Miami Dolphins. That was not a good game. Seeing as how Tua didn't put up monster stats, he didn't put up average stats. He put below average stats, but they still got the win because of special teams and their defense. So I mean, if the Rams are struggling with Dolphins defense, then the Rams are definitely struggling with Seattle's defense. They're definitely struggling with 49ers healthy defense, and they're definitely going to struggle with Buda Baker and him leading the Cardinals defense. So I definitely see the Seahawks coming out. And I don't see any of the other teams even making the wild card.
Yeah, and seeing also, you know, the Bears play the Rams the week before, and the Rams putting a dominant performance against my Bears, and then to see what they did to Miami, just an inconsistent team. They got to straighten it up a little bit. The Rams got to do better if they want to make the playoffs.
Staying in the NFC West, we were talking about the MVP race. And so, guys, who do you guys see winning the MVP? Because right now we were talking Russell Wilson, but you know there are some other guys that could be in the mix. You know, who are we looking at?
You have to give it to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has been playing great this year, and you know, in my opinion, he's been beating everybody else. He's been having a stellar year, but it is Seattle, and Russell Wilson could get messed up and not get it again because, you know, it's Seattle.
Well, personally, I don't think Mahomes should win MVP this year. I think Mahomes is like LeBron of the NFL. He should easily win it every year because he's Patrick Mahomes. I agree. Best quarterback in the NFL, my opinion. But honestly, I think Derrick Henry should be in the head of the MVP race. I mean, he's literally carrying the team as a running back. And people say Ryan Tannehill's been playing very well. Like, he could even be in the conversation for MVP. But personally, the stats that Derrick Henry are putting up, I mean, if he keeps keeps running like how he is, he can honestly almost put up 2,000 yards this season. And running back hasn't done that since 2012. Last running back to do that was Adrian Peterson. So,
fresh off the ACL.
So honestly, I think Derrick Henry, running backs don't get enough love. I think Derrick Henry should be at the top of the MVP race. Russell Wilson was a no-brainer. After the game with the Cardinals, that really messed up. Those 3 interceptions that he threw were like that just wasn't MVP to me. But that's my opinion. He did bounce back against the 49ers. I'll give him that. But Derrick Henry, in my opinion, has just been like flawless this whole season.
You talked about running backs and how they don't get enough love. Let's talk about another running back. I'm a Vikings fan. Got to bring him up. Dalvin Cook, 4 rushing touchdowns in Lambeau Field against a division rival in the Packers. What did you guys think of that? In the first 4 drives, actually, he scored his 4 touchdowns. So,
I mean, when I was watching the game, that was just a sloppy game by the Packers. I think they should have easily won that game, but I don't know what was up there. What was up with their rush defense? Like they have, they have solid people, but I just don't know what was clicking on that defense. And they gave Dalvin Cook 4 straight touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah, first 4 drives of the game were Dalvin Cook touchdowns.
Yeah, it was just sloppy. Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from Dalvin Cook running, because Dalvin Cook is one of the top. I'm going to say top 5 running back in the NFL. He's definitely one of the best running backs in the NFL. But Green Bay rush defense isn't that good. He rushed 30 times for 163 yards. But also Tampa Bay running back, when they played the Packers, they combined for 120 yards rushing. And, they combined for 120 yards rushing, and that's about it. I think it was another team they also gave up a really – week one. Week 1 they played the Vikings. Was it week 1?
Yep.
And Dalvin Cook still had 100 yards rushing that game too. So it's something wrong with the Packers defense and their rushing schemes.
And it's not that they don't have the guys. I mean, they got good players on it. Zendarius Smith, one of the best DN/linebackers. I mean, he's kind of in that hybrid – position, sort of like Khalil Mack, and then you got Jair Alexander in the secondary. So you wonder, what could if the personnel is there, then why is the scheme and why are they not able to stop the run? So
when the Packers lose, it's always a good day. It's always a good day when the Packers lose because they're division rivals.
Okay. That's one thing Andrew and I can agree on, being Bears and Vikings fans.
That's right. We don't like the Packers, and it's a good day when you see the Packers lose. And, I think that's what cost the Packers getting into the Super Bowl last year, their run defense. And they didn't really improve on that at all in the offseason, not in the draft. They decided to draft Jordan Love instead. So they got to really work on it and see what happens. But if the Packers want to become that Super Bowl team, they have to fix that run defense.
Avery Williamson got sent to the undefeated Steelers.
Yeah, woke up 7-0 when he went to sleep 0-8. So
I just don't get what the Jets are doing. They traded Le'Veon Bell, like I said. They just traded Williamson, and they traded Jamal Adams over the offseason. I don't understand what the Jets are doing.
Adam Gase still has a job.
Yeah, what is up with that? I mean, you could say trust the process all you want, but if you can't keep talented guys within your organization, I get it if it were one person like Jamal Adams was. At first it was just like, okay, maybe it's just Jamal Adams is a cancer and they want him out. But now you see Le'Veon Bell go too, and the rest of the players kind of there's some animosity towards the coaching staff. That's a problem, and the Jets organization needs to take care of that. And maybe new ownership needs to be. Maybe Gary Vee's finally going to get his shot at being the owner of the Jets. I mean, we need to see something from the Jets change.
All right, and I think that's probably enough for NFL talk. Let's talk about MLB. Dodgers won the World Series, right?
Nice, putting on for LA. Shout out LA.
And the biggest story coming out of that right now is Justin Turner testing positive right in the middle of Game 5, right?
Game 6 in the final game.
Final game, he got tested positive for corona and got immediately pulled from the game once that test came back positive. But then once the Dodgers won, he came back running on the field to celebrate, and that caused a huge, commotion.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because, Justin Turner, he's been contributing on all these Dodgers teams that have made these, NLCS World Series runs, and they finally get it. And, if he would have gotten the test back 2 innings later, he would have been out there celebrating no problem. But I think the reason why that it was allowed to happen, because there was, surely they, looked into this before, but, you would think somebody would try to stop him, but then you also have to think he was out there for he was out there for 8 innings before that too. So,
it was a weird situation. I'm gonna give it a pass just because you just won the World Series. I don't go out there. Baseball's over. Get tested, stay safe, whatever. But
as long as he takes care of what he needs to once he leaves the clubhouse, I think that's what really matters. He may have potentially endangered some journalists or whoever was down there on the field afterwards, and that really is an issue. But it's so tough. Not everybody wins a World Series.
Because, like you guys were saying, he did just win the World Series. But also, there was an article that came out saying that he just returned back home to L.A., but he's supposed to be in quarantine for 10 days. So it's literally been it's been 4 or 5 days since he tested positive for COVID.
Oh, he went back home.
And he's already returned back home, even though they told him that he has to stay quarantined for 10 days.
Never mind.
So, I
take back what I said.
I don't give him a pass for that because honestly, it's obvious he doesn't take it seriously if he's still coming out and doing whatever he wants to. So I can't give him a pass. I can't give him a pass for that.
And he was doing some of this stuff without a mask on when he knew he had tested positive. So that's a red flag and a half. Red flag and a half. That's really bad.
Yeah, I didn't know that information till right now, but you just won the World Series, so if it was me and I was already on the field for 8 innings, already out there next to the umpires, same guys you've been out there the whole game, I would have probably went and celebrated as well. But that's just me. But if he's not taking it serious after, that's his choice. But in my opinion, I think when it came to the heat of the moment, you just won the World Series. You were out there for 8 innings. Why not just go out there and have a good time? You don't win a World Series that often, especially if you're Los Angeles. And actually, he is one of the guys that's been there on every single time where they lost when they got this close because of the Astros or other teams like that, like the cheaters Astros, like I say every time. So it's just it sucks. And he might have handled it wrong, but in my opinion, I would have went out there and celebrated.
Another big story, Clayton Kershaw. What about him?
I don't want to hear any more Kershaw's a choker. I don't want to hear any of that anymore. So, yeah, he submitted his legacy for sure. And, would he have done that if the Dodgers had lost and he still had the same performance? Probably not. But the thing is, you got to give him a little bit of slack because one of these times that he choked was against the Astros, who had the whole cheating scandal going on. Okay, so maybe he had it figured out before all of that, and then the Astros came in and had a big impact on him. So I would really like for that notion to stop because I think Clayton Kershaw, and by golly, he's the best regular season pitcher. Year in and year out, he's up there with the best. So I think Clayton Kershaw being a choker, that notion has got to stop.
I agree with that 110% actually because, I'm going to kind of compare this to NFL as well. Clayton Kershaw kind of reminded me of the Andy Reid when it comes to football, right? He always does good in the regular season, but he never got that ring. Well, this year he finally got his ring. So congratulations, Kershaw, and super happy for him.
All right, let's move on to college football.
Yeah, there is a lot to talk about in college football, but I think most notably has got to be the matchup between Notre Dame and Clemson in South Bend, Indiana. So Notre Dame's going to host, but Trevor Lawrence, Heisman hopeful, national champion as a true freshman, will be out for that game versus Notre Dame, which is huge because, I mean, you lose a Heisman hopeful quarterback, I mean, you're going to be a different football team. So, I don't know, who do you guys think comes out on
I predict Clemson is still going to pull it off, especially Boston College, how they just played, wasn't beautiful. They definitely struggled, but, I mean, you're going to struggle if you don't have your Heisman in the game. I mean, it's going to happen.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the game was like any team is going to be rocky. Yeah. I mean, they had a quick quarterback change. Like, yeah, it's going to be rocky, but I think they're going to smooth it out and get the win. I mean,
guys, my man Kobe, Jared.
What?
It's Trevor Lawrence, man. They need Trevor Lawrence. That team needs Trevor Lawrence when they're going against Notre Dame in South Bend with fans there. Not the whole stadium because of COVID, but guys, it's Notre Dame. And without Trevor Lawrence, the Clemson Tigers have no chance. We got this game. We're finally going to beat them.
You got to remember, though, Andrew, okay? You got, a freshman quarterback by the name of DJ. I'm not going to try to say his last name, so all respects to DJ. St. John Bosco product. Took Real Mitchell's spot, who did a really good job for St. John Bosco. But he's a really good quarterback, and, it was a quick change, so he didn't do so hot in his first start against Boston College. But DJ is still a dude, and he's going to do good for them. And if all goes wrong, they still got ETN in the backfield, who is a weapon. So this offense is going to be fine.
And you know what? I hate to say this as a Notre Dame fan, but Notre Dame wins this game. Guess what? Trevor Lawrence didn't play. This win is not as important as usual. Notre Dame loses this game. Oh, man, they lost without Trevor Lawrence in the game. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation either way when it comes to this.
Sad to see. Sad sight. My Oklahoma State Cowboys took a big loss to the Longhorns.
Go Pokes! Pew pew pew
pew. It wasn't the greatest game I've seen. It's the only game I decided to actually sit down and watch.
No more watching for you. Bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop watching more college football. So thanks.
I mean, the Big 12 every year, and I think it just has to do with the format because everybody plays everybody in the Big 12. No, the Big 12 is not meant to go 9-0 in. You can only hope for 8-1 at best. So if I'm a Big 12 school, I'm not scheduling any other Power 5 schools in my, in a normal year they'd have 3 regular non-con games. I'm not scheduling any other Power 5 teams. I'm going to make those easy as heck because I know if I lose one of those, we haven't seen anybody go 9-0 in the new Big 12 ever since it turned into 10 teams and everybody plays everybody. I mean, we have not seen anybody go 9-0, and Big 12 just is there are too many good teams for that to happen. So
too many good teams, but not a lot of great teams.
Right. They're all 1-10, so close.
Flipping to the other side, Big Ten football's back.
Yes, and we love to see it. I mean, I'm, KU fan first, but I like my Minnesota teams. But Minnesota's not off to a good start. Still going to row the boat, Sky U Mob, but yeah, not off to a good start for them.
All right, boys, just saying, as a Notre Dame fan, how about them Michigan Wolverines? Am I right, baby? They choke yet again every single year. Jim Harbaugh always finds a way to lose the big games and just ruin his season.
And we talked about this in the last episode. He's getting paid. He's one of the highest paid, people in sports right now. And he's getting paid every year to go, 8-4 and then go to the Outback Bowl. I mean, are Michigan alumni, donors, boosters, are they not tired of, seeing this? I mean, when is this going to stop?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that they really need to fix this. They need to fix this now if they Unfortunately, it might be time to get rid of Jim Harbaugh. I hate to say that on a COVID year when he didn't have that full offseason, but man, these past few years, he just hasn't been able to win those big games. Unless he beats Ohio State this year, because that's like their big game.
Doubt that. No. That's a big doubt. It's going to take a lot to beat them Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think Ohio State. I mean, I think let's all go around. Kobe, who do you think is going to win the national championship in college football?
Clemson, easy. I have Clemson winning the whole thing.
Notre Dame. Just kidding. No, I think it will be Ohio State.
A little bit of bias. What about you, Jared?
I still got Clemson.
I have the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think that they look like the best team in college football through their first 2 games. Went into they didn't go into Nebraska, but they handled Nebraska easily. Then they went into Penn State, took care of business. It wasn't a whiteout crowd, which Penn State is known to provide, and they're obviously without fans. But Ohio State is a force to be reckoned with, and they were so close. A couple of controversial plays happened in that game against Clemson last year, and if Justin Fields and his receiver were on the same page, that might be a different game this year. So we'll see.
I mean, anything could happen this year. College football has been just random this year. I mean, we have LSU getting completely killed by Auburn, just decimated, went from a national championship team to just terrible. We have Oklahoma. I don't even want to speak about Oklahoma because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Oklahoma, and they are just got Spencer Rattler getting benched second, third game of the week. So, I mean, college football has been crazy this year. I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah, and, there's a really big game coming up in the SEC as well. We have Florida versus Georgia. 2 really good SEC teams. Going to be a big battle. Florida got in a bit of a scrummage against Missouri last week, and to see that big fight happening and their head coach getting fired up. So I'm super excited to see both these top 10 teams fight it out. It's going to be a great game.
Who do we all have for that one?
Georgia.
You got Georgia?
Georgia.
I got the Gators.
Georgia.
2-2. Let's go, Gators. Attaboy Joe. It's going to be fun to watch. Like I said, it's going to be a great game either way. I love watching good football, so I can't wait to watch it.
NBA-wise, free agency has been slow. I'm surprised teams have been picking up or whatever. But I really think it's due just to COVID and the pandemic and the schedule just getting all mixed up. I think the team's primary focus is when is the next season going to start. I don't really think they're trying to figure out what players to get. But I see that Miami is really heavy on trying to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. So if Miami can get Giannis, it's right back over again. Simple.
You think so?
I know so. You hear it here first.
Even with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant.
Even with the best player in the world, Kevin Durant, on the Nets, Miami will go to the finals if they get Giannis on their team. You're hearing it first.
Hold the phone. Yes. Did you just say the best player in the world, Kevin Durant?
The best, Kevin Durant, best player in the NBA. Best player in the world. Nobody can stop that man. I mean, 7 foot, can shoot like a sniper, can dribble, can drive, can shoot. You give him the ball with 10 seconds left. With 10 seconds left, there's no point in crashing boards. He's going to make the shot. I mean,
I don't know if you ever heard about this guy named LeBron James.
Oh, yeah, I know who LeBron is. And I remember 2-3 years ago, Kevin Durant coming down, hitting 3-point in his face to seal Game 3 of the 2017 Finals. So, I mean.
I like that, Kobe. I like that a lot.
But, okay, LeBron drives, and he's got 3 dudes on him, and he kicks it to Kyle Korver. He had Kyle Korver as his best weapon in that series.
It was Danny Green.
No. I'm talking about in 2017 when he was still on the Cavs. LeBron was still on the Cavaliers, and he passed it to Kyle Korver, who missed the clutch shot. And so when you got Kyle Korver as, now he wasn't, I'm not going to say that he was actually their second best player, but he was, but he was called upon in the clutch situation when the worst option probably for the Warriors to be in a clutch situation would have been like Draymond Green or Andre Iguodala. I think I would definitely take my chances with Draymond Green or Iguodala over Kyle Korver. And, the worst possible outcome for them is better than the Cavs, second or third option. I just think, if Kevin Durant would have been, double or triple teamed in any situation, he could have found somebody that would have gotten the bucket. And I think that's where it was hard for LeBron.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap up episode 2 of the Tigers Den. So glad that we got to film this second episode, even though Zoom had to be in it. But guess what? We're all looking fresh, all looking great. And I can't wait to see you all for episode 3. Peace out, guys. Tigers out.